Woo! Good night, good night, good night. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Vibes Live, TrinbagoVibes. It is the night before our elections. Um, Hold on. Is there? Right. So it is the night before our elections, and well, we'll get into that in a little bit. But here we don't normally jump into the politics, right? I do recommend you go and vote whoever you support in elections. Once you are, once you could vote, go and vote, right? Every vote counts, and in a democracy, you should exercise your right to vote, whether you determine this is the party that needs to stay in power or whether you want change. It's totally up to you. But yes, whoa, vun vun, yo yo yo, good night, good night, welcome, welcome. It's been one of those dryish weekends. We had some rain in between, and this week here actually had some rain going on. So I've seen some of the poetry is still blooming, which is amazing, right? And we got some cold winds coming in. Not sure who was the case. Good night, Faraz. Vun Vun is asking who I'm voting for. That's between me and the poll booth come tomorrow, brother. Right? Here on Trinbago Vibes, we don't support one party over the next. And I do understand, like, there are a good bit of other people who in the content creation field in Trinidad and Tobago, they would throw their support between this party or the next party. Some of them paid, some of them not. That is how it's go, right? At the end of the day, you can't fault them because people have to make money, right? So, but yeah. Oh, Javan and R79, good night, good night. Thanks again for joining me. I know normally I'll try and start 8, but I've been trying to adjust some audio because I'm trying to do some playbacks and do some reactions in a sense, because there are a few things I want to tackle in this Sunday Vibes Live before we end it. And so I was trying to get audio, and unfortunately the only audio, at least from what I've been playing around with, comes from this mic. So I might have to take off this mic to put it next to the speaker of the laptop when I'm playing this particular clip for you all. But yeah. So, oh, Sylvan, it's been a while since Sylvan has joined the chat, yo. So yeah. Hey, I appreciate that. Vun Vun is asking that he enjoyed the doubles and when I stayed in Hyatt. I'm hoping later this year to actually do some more hotels, and probably 1 or 2 South hotels. That's the plan. Hoping to do a Tobago one. We'll see how that goes. That may not come to fruition. I'm not sure yet. I'll be doing some Tobago vlogs definitely this year, later this year. We'll see how that goes. And well, double topping, in for a treat, because well, me starting this week here, and for the majority of me, I will be having food vlogs. Basically, I already start recording some of these vlogs in a sense. So just to complete it, edit it, and drop it. The only video that I have would be on the last Saturday in May. Close to Indian Arrival Day celebrations. I have that video already set, and that was set since 2022. Is like a Dear Future Me video. And if you joined the live last week, I would have mentioned this as well. And I wouldn't normally, when I drop a video every Saturday around 6-ish, that's the time I will drop videos here on the channel. Alright. Once that one drops at the end of the month of May, I would not comment on anybody. You leave the comments in the videos, right? I would not comment on it, but I'll trying to organize the live to go through that video, right? Because that's like a video I made in 2022, hoping for certain things for this year. So we'll see how much of it comes through and how much of it doesn't. Oh, I see. Good night, good night. And R79, yes, I do plan to do the new highway, but I'm just waiting for it to calm down a little bit, because I'm not just going to do a run on the highway. Of course, the majority of the video would be me on the highway, but I'm just not going to just do just that. Come on, I must look for food spots and hop something along the way. So that requires a little more research. And Sylvan is asking if did anyone do the kite flying or the dog show in the savannah. I touched on it if you watched yesterday's video drop, which was weird laws. So I was going to drop on this a little later, but since we're here already, might as well touch on it. So yesterday, I dropped Weird Laws Volume 2. For those of you who don't know, I dropped the first Weird Laws where I basically stated 10 weird laws that we still have in Trinidad and Tobago. This is from colonial times, come forward. Some of it not too relevant, and it could be, as far as I'm concerned, could be removed. But others I could probably see it still there, for certain aesthetics. So I decided to do volume 2, a second rounds, this rounds. And in that one, Sylvan, in that video, if you haven't seen it, you could go check it out. It was on yesterday's drop. Weird Laws Volume 2, some laws you may or may not know in Trinidad and Tobago. I did actually cover part of the pause in the savannah, as well as a little clip of the kite flying, because that would have fall under the what is the Animal Protection Act kind of thing? No, not Act. The Animal Welfare Bill and the Animal Act, Disease and Importation Act, So and I do hope to also, speaking of Grandy, I do hope to spend a day in Grandy. That is the plan for later this year. I want to spend a day in Grandy and I want to spend a day in San Fernando and just capture those two things. Now, back to the weird laws, because like for those of you who don't know, normally on Sunday Vibes Live, I answer as much of your questions as I possibly can. We chat a little bit on the previous video and then we give some updates on future videos. Now, although I haven't been live since probably the beginning of April, right? Because after April, it had something, and then it was Easter, and Easter was last weekend. It was nice, and Sylvan mentioned it. It was nice to see the amount of people taking advantage of the savannah, the Queen's Park Savannah. It was nice to see families out there picnicking, having a time flying their kites. And even today, so normally my wife and I would visit the savannah on a Sunday, and it's always been nice to see people still, picnicking. I still saw some kite flying happening and everything. So it's always good. By the way, there is also a kite flying law which should be repelled. Granted, like I mentioned in that video, you don't really get charged for it per se. But still, the mere fact is there is law. You never know who could take, advantage of what. So, but it was amazing to see the amount of people of flying kites. So, Sylvan, if you go back and check that video, like, it will be later in the video, like, you would see clips of that, at least one clip, a capture of that, probably like a 5 seconds. I know it wasn't much, but it so happened that for Easter I was down my arrow, so, and that was like a relaxed weekend. I recorded something down there, right, and that will be up and coming. You will see what I mean, up and coming. I had no intention to really record anything down there. It was my wife, myself, we was down there, and it was just, a relaxing thing. Well, when I mean a relaxing thing, if you watch, of course, the Weird Laws video yesterday, the clip where I cut in the fig, that was, that was down my arrow, actually. So, Vun is asking when I'm going to visit Grandy. I'm not sure. It would not. I'm hoping by July, August to do that, to be honest with you all. The June I'm booked up. Well, this month, me already have a lot of plans. I had other plans in place. And actually, one of the plans that I had no intention of doing, but it just happened to do, would be, and again, this is up and coming video for the month of May. Fried chicken hopping, that'll be volume 3, because we did 2 other videos about it. And it just so happened that, and I'll mention this in that video as well, but since you all joined in, there's spoilers for something I did mention in that video while recording. Now, in the last fried chicken hopping video, the volume 2, right, I asked in the comments, I asked you all, hey, list some other alternative fried chicken spots that, we could check out in future videos. And when I was going through the comments, right, I saw you all give me about 16, 17 different spots. I was like, wait, I can't eat 16, 17 spots in one video, so I'm going to split that up in some other videos and future videos. So, So, what triggered that fried chicken video is when I was down Mayaro, I tried Mayaro fried chicken. And it's like, wait, I was looking for food, and I was hungry, and I saw that, and I said, let me go and try it. And since I was going to try it, sometimes I went down Mayaro to relax. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I had to tell this story. I went down Mayaro to relax, and the content creator mind is just be on all the time, unfortunately. Sometimes it's be hard to turn that off. And I just went, and it's like, all right, let me start to record this and and taste it and see how it goes. And then it's like, well, all right. Well, since I don't do this already, let me do a fried chicken hopping. And that's when I went and go through the comments from the last video and write down all the lists. And it's like, all right, this month here, we'll hit this fried chicken spot this day, next one that day. And so that's how that plan came about. But the point is, sometimes it's be hard to switch off this content creation mindset. I've been doing this. At the end of May would be 5 years. Every week a video would have been, at least one video would have been dropped, apart from the lives. The lives came on stream probably 2-3 years into the YouTube. And yeah. Bacchanal chips in Randy. Now Vun Vun, that is actually one of the spots I do plan to visit, but not this wrongs. So I tell you, it's a list of 16 to 17 fried chicken spots, right? And I'm gonna start with the ones in South first. So I'm going to South first, Central first, and then up north, which will include Grandy, one I think, Curep, and then one in town. Yeah. Oh, Sally, good night. And Salim, just in case, you know, I miss out anybody, welcome to the Sunday Vibes Live. Yeah, so Dread. So yeah, so that is up and coming. So I'll tackle some of the south ones first, Vun, and then afterwards I'll actually tackle probably Central, or I might come up north first and like Grandy and check out Bacchanal chicken and all these things. So yeah, so that is essentially how that, you know, fried chicken hopping video came about. Oh, Sally from Palaseco, boy. Hey, actually I have to come down that side and do some videos down on that side. It's two things I want to do down Palaseco way. Have the dirt oven down on that side. I have to go out and try. And is it have some, no, that is Rancho Quemado side, more that side. They have the coffee and chocolate spot. So yeah, so those are a few things I want to check out. Now, previous to the weird laws that we drop, right? And I'll come back to the weird laws part in a little bit, because I have one particular thing I need to make mention before we jump into other stuff, more election stuff, right? The week before last week, I end up doing that was Easter weekend. I end up doing PAX, you know, afternoon tea at PAX Guest House and Mountain Benedict. Now, my original plan for that video actually was to include the cathedral here in Port Spain, the two cathedrals, and have it as a afternoon tea and church hopping episode. However, I realized the timing, in terms of timing to edit and the length of the video, I realized it would have just made sense just to do afternoon tea and Mountain Benedict, which I was planning to do anyhow. And that's like a third alternative. So the original plan for that video last week was Mount Tabor. The loop is a hiking trail up on Mountain Benedict side, and I was planning to do that, but that requires some training on my part, and I didn't really meet that quota. Plus, the weekend just happened to be a lazy weekend, and I was trying to do this before the Easter weekend, mind you. So yeah, so that was before the Easter weekend, because I need time to edit this video. And when I realized, my fitness level wasn't good enough to at that point in time, because I was planning to go with my wife, right? I decided, nah, let me switch it up to the afternoon tea at Parks Guest House, which, by the way, have been serving that same menu since probably its inception, just under a century ago. The newest item added to that menu would have been the president's menu. If you are not sure what I'm talking about, go check out that video after this live and you'll see, right? And that was when Mrs. Hassan Ali, that is Noor Hassan Ali, one of the first presidents in Trinidad and Tobago, yeah, so the first lady at the time, the only thing she would have enjoyed that combination, and that's why they added it to the menu at Parks Guest House. So yeah, and that's essentially how that video came about, right? I wanted to do some more drone shots actually, but just so happened I did not. And this is a point to note for any videographer out there. I didn't check my batteries, and normally when I go up with my drone, by the way, I use a DJI Mini 3, right? I have 2 spare batteries and I have the main one. I did not charge my spare batteries, so they were dead. and on the main one I only had like 45% on it. So as like when I saw that, I just took a chance, sent it up, and capture as much as I could capture before I had to bring it back down eventually. So, but I wanted to do much more dronography on Mount Benedict because up there is just amazing and is so quiet, so serene, and is a ideal spot for just to relax and just be with your thoughts and say whatever prayers you have to say. And you don't have to be Catholic, you don't have to be Christian, you could be Muslim, you could be Hindu, you could visit there. It's open to anybody. You don't even have to believe in God. You can just visit there, and it's such a cool, serene scene, right? It's one of the few spots that, to me, you have a few spots in Trinidad and Tobago where have that kind of vibes. Mountain Benedict is one of them. Datatrea is the next one. That's in Central, and I even take care and have a blessed one. Go and vote there, by the way. So yes, and I have a few other spots. Trevania, I find also have that kind of vibes. So yeah, I have a few spots that have those kind of vibes. So it was just amazing to finally do that video. And this year I plan to do the traditional Trinidad and Tobago tourism video. So I still have to do Pitch Lake. Still have to do a few other things that you would have seen normally a million people probably have done already. But here on TrinbagoVibes, we'll put our twist on it. SC is asking if I'm going to do any Tobago videos. Yes. That one I plan to. I'm hoping to be in Tobago in June, and therefore I should be dropping some Tobago videos either the end of June or the beginning of July. So that is the plan for that. So yes, I will be doing some Tobago videos. I'm not sure how much yet or what is the plan for it yet, because I didn't really plan that out. I know I should be going to Tobago in June for sure, but I'm not sure what exactly I plan to do when I get there. That will be planned probably at the end of May, right? So yeah, so that was basically the scene, the past two updates. Now, I know tomorrow is elections, and honestly, I have not watched any of the rallies. I haven't. The only thing I would have seen is the small clips people would have shared online, and I would have laughed for that, because here we are all about, hey, we big, we have sense, right? I know the politicians is easily throw wool over our eyes and could fool us, but we have to watch what our current government has done, pros and cons, and whether you think we could, do our next 5 years with them, or, as I mentioned earlier, vote for change. All right, right as it stands, we have problems with forex. The crime rate is high. This is conspiracy theory, of course. So I just putting that out there. It is this. So they'll take this on. It is weird that they keep preaching prep for hard times, though we just after COVID and oil and gas is depleting, and you increase your salary by 47%. You basically left office a few months before, well, in this case, like a month before the general elections. Something weird with that, Dread. I just seen again conspiracy theory. The next conspiracy theory is congrats to whoever won the lotto. It was like 14 million. It has been nobody won since probably Carnival, I think. And it's just so coincidental that somebody won the weekend before elections. Conspiracy theory again. Yeah, you can't trust the certain things in place when, like, you think you know about it. This is how it's going, and this is how it's gonna be. Again, conspiracy theory. So I could be wrong. Or this is alleged, and yes. So, like I said, we big, we have sense. So vote on who you think could take Trinidad and Tobago into the next for the next 5 years into a better place than we are where we currently are. All right, and but make sure to go out and vote. Just saying. Speaking of that, like in in my videos, in TrinbagoVibes video, I basically highlight everything Trinidad and Tobago, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of religion, regardless of your political views on things. Like Rajeev, would have my own biases. I will have my own privileges. I will have my own thoughts and everything on these things. But at the end of the day, I do not bring this publicly or bring it forward. You might have bits of pieces of it when I do certain videos or here on the live where I bring more of my personality here. But in generally, this channel, TrinbagoVibes, it's all about Trinidadian culture, all about Trinidadian food, Trinidadian people, Trinidadian places, Trinbagonian places, sorry. So yeah. And so we keep those kind of things out of the setting that we are on. And it just so happened, like, for part of the video, for Weird Laws video, because of how the weather is going right now, we in the dry season, but rain has been falling in between, and this has caused the pui trees to bloom much more frequent than before. So about 2-3 weeks ago, you would have seen the pink pui trees blooming all over the place, forming these beautiful carpets, and everybody posting pink pui all over the place, right? And Easter weekend go on, the yellow pui start to bloom. So it's like, gosh, I have to capture that. And it's so interesting. In some of the comments, I saw a political comment, and it's like, at the time I was recording it, it didn't click to me how people would view that. But I just say, let me come on here, and if there's any relation, there's no relation to any political party based on whatever we highlight in the videos, right? So that was just coincidence in a sense. Like, if I was really thinking, because I wasn't thinking about how people could relate this to vote this party over the next party based on what I was highlighting here in Trinidad and Tobago, it's just part of the natural scenery, part of the natural beauty, and I'll probably find a next way to do it. But I just wanted to highlight the beauty of the yellow pui, apart from the pink pui, which I did highlight whenever it was blooming, and that was at the end of the video before the mountain benefit one, when I went cheese puff hopping. Yeah, did I do a live after that cheese puff hopping, boy? I wasn't sure. That was something a little different, and it was interesting. By the way, shout out to everybody on, who I checked the cheese puff from, especially like Atong's Bakery. They reached out and they enjoyed the video, and of course the Parlor Royale. Shout out them for that best sandwich that I was honored to try, or was gifted. But yeah, so all in all, I just want to tell you all, right, here on the channel, we do not have the political views. We don't have anything based on race. We don't have anything based on religion. We do not discriminate, right? I cannot help what others may think, or sometimes when we out there interacting, we have no control over what is said out there or what is done out there. But within this space, within these videos, this is Trinbagonian culture, because people have to understand, after elections, after you fight up with whether your religion is right or wrong, we all have to live together. And there's a reason why I will go back to our national anthem. Here, every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation, right? People just tend to forget that plenty. And I just hope we remember that we need to be our brother's keeper. Forget race, forget religion, We are human, right? We are here. We struggle together. We will be happy together. We will, grow together in a sense. And yes, SC, coming out of this thing, I do plan to do a current roll hopping later this year, right? I said this month, this month. In May, it's going to be basically a food month, in a sense. Most videos going to be a food vlog. Besides the last video, which is their future me, a more chatting one. But we got next month, well, this is May, we got some doubles hopping. We've got buffet hopping, from least expensive to most expensive. So from cheap to expensive. Yeah, that one is an interesting one. I still have to record two of the other spots. So I already did the cheap spot, spoilers, Pizza Hut, on I have two other spots that are going to do. So yeah. And also, do tune in to the live next weekend. Well, actually, let me know. I'm gonna post a poll, if not after this live in the morning. That let me know if you all want me to live stream the election results. Right. So if the poll say yes, most likely I'll come on around 9ish in the night, and I'll be live streaming until we find out who will be the next government of Trinidad and Tobago. So we might go till 1 in the morning. So, but again, I'll put it in a poll. So look out for it in the community tabs, right? If not much people want the live stream, I wouldn't bother to live stream. So it will depend on you all. So that is my plan for tomorrow. But next weekend, on the next Sunday Vibes Live, I have a few more remaining T-shirts, and I just had to go and check out the sizes. So I'll let you all know then. And if anybody want the normal What's Up My TrinbagoVibes T-shirts, I will be selling it at a reduced cost. And yeah, so tune in to next week Sunday Vibes Live. I'll sort that out. And yes, buffet hopping is fun, is interesting, and it'll just be interesting to see what the most expensive one would be like when I do that, either this week or next week. I'm not sure yet. I'll see how that goes. And Sylvan hit the nail on the head, right? We always have problems, right? Some bigger than others, some growing, some we can control. Hopefully, some we can need to get under control. But we also have a lot to be thankful for. We as a people, we as a nation, we are one of the few Caribbean islands with all this multiculturalism, all this with like a pilau pot full of culture and different things, right? Even pilau is a combination of with African roots with Indian roots. Is we take a certain dish that may have been popular in West Africa, and we add in little Indian elements to it, and we made it our own. That's how we do it, Oh, Namala, good night. All is well, Like I mentioned earlier, we is the night before election, so look out for the community tab, the poll, and once the majority says, of course we are democracy, so majority rules, Once the majority says, hey, yeah, live streaming election results tomorrow from about 9 until 9ish until. Yeah, 9ish until. Right? But also tune in to the next Sunday Vibes Live. I'll be doing the stock check on the T-shirts, and if anybody want, we'll be selling it at reduced cost. Now, Dread. Normally, well, as you all know, here is the main spot I do create content. YouTube. Alright. But before I jump into that, yes, SC Buffet King is actually one of the spots I plan to do, and that is like the second spot. So first is Pizza Hut, and then the second spot is Buffet King. Now, in doing the buffet video, right, I will do my research and I call a few spots that would have buffet, a good bit of spots stop their buffets since COVID. So it's like, alright, but Buffet King is the next top, and then after that is I'm going on to the more expensive one. Yeah, it starts with K. It's in South. Right, anyway. So since YouTube is my main source for creating content, right? On Instagram, that's where I more post nature videos, and I'll do nature shorts and everything, and post that there. If anybody needs to contact me, they can contact me on Instagram Messenger. I started Facebook recently, and I'll basically post up the same thing I may post on Instagram on Facebook. Not much different. I should have been on Facebook a while now, but honestly speaking, for me, it's be a lot to do all these social media. Like, to do social media, to balance life, to balance work, is a whole different thing. So big up everybody who is doing it. Me, I could just concentrate at least the quality of which I do and the ideas I have. I could only do like YouTube is my main function, and everything else is be secondary, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is that, and this is before elections, Dread, is be interesting, the kind of bacchanal we just have in this country, we have some people, on the TikTok vibes, and this TikTok, I don't have a TikTok, so if you see Trinbago vibes on TikTok, no, it's not me, right? But people would get views, will get subs and all these things, and they would have a good bit and feel all right. They influential and all these things, which they might be, and in most cases they are. That's how social medias work. But they have a lot of people who do lifestyle vlogs, lifestyle things, or give advice on all these things. At the same time, do not take these things as proper advice. Do your own research, think about what people are saying. And there's a reason for this, why I'm telling you this. We'll jump into this bacchanal in a little bit, right? I should have even, talk about it at this much, because I wanted to. Let me just go back to elections for a little bit, and then I will jump back into this. All right. For those of you, so stay tuned. I know. Normally I'll lock off around 9, but I just wanted to tackle these next two things before I come off, right? And so we ended this off with some bacchanal thing, right? And yeah, we normally I don't like to make or give props to kind of, I wouldn't say it's anything bad, but it's like questionable people. I don't like to make questionable people famous in a sense, but they have been blowing up all through social media, even in the American content creating space. But before that, right, I just wanted to go through, since tomorrow is an election, right? I just wanted to go through, and this is from the Newsday, right? From Sydney Joseph and Sanab Kamara. These are, election day rules and what we should know about voting, about general elections day here in Trinidad and Tobago. So as you can see, there's no camping on election day. So there should be nobody with branded jerseys, banners, flags, or other promotional material close to the polling station on election day. Alright. Additionally, candidates and their supporters are not allowed to give money, gifts, or other incentives to sway the votes in their favor. Now, all this you could be charged by being locked up, or I think 7,500. Yeah. And the reason why I'm going through this list is like, okay, I did weird laws yesterday, might as well, do this thing today. Right? There should be no gathering, no groups, or no crowds of voters gathering near any polling station. So basically, when you go to vote, just go and vote and come back and leave. Right? Don't gather, don't listen to anybody. Also, there's to be no loud music or noise disruptions. If anybody is hearing any dogs barking, that's just my dogs barking, yeah? On election day itself. So, again, this one, right, I know there's no drawing during the voting hours, but I didn't realize, it didn't occur to me that this was a thing. So, this is also a good thing to note. Even though under the Liquor License Act, the sale of alcohol, regardless if you have the liquor license or not, cannot be sold between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Now, voting time is between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And of course, illegal voting is a crime, so, person cannot vote if they are not legally entitled to do so, or cast their vote multiple times. And if anybody sees or thinks somebody is doing this, they can report it to, the EBC authorities, because it's fraud. Like I said, look at it right here at the top, right? This is, all these rules fall under the Representation of the People Act, and the fines range between 7,500 to 30,000, and or imprisonment up to 5 years. So those are some of the. I'll leave a link to this in the description below. So yeah, so we will take that. DJ saying, looking forward to review of the eatery at C3. Girl, the amount of food hub spots that has been opening all over Trinidad and Tobago. Say I'd do a few, but I might just do in between pieces of it. Like if you all had watched the fried fish hopping video, I did cover Food Square a little bit, and off the avenue. Well, there's 2 food spot hubs here. I just find a good bit of food hubs are opening all over the country, which is good, right? But and I will hopefully get to check there out soon. It wouldn't be in May. I'm not sure how things running yet in June, but I will try to cover that in T3 one of these days. And I also have in mind, like this I had in mind a little while ago. Spoilers. I do plan to do like Korean food hopping as well, because we do have Korean food here in Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, here now we real blessed, in truth. But yeah, and this one I was having trouble with the mic, so I'm going back to the little bacchanal we are talking about now. Shout out Crazy Legs, for those of you who don't know. Crazy Leg did a wonderful job. He's a entertainer here. He's one of the OGs here, and he did a fantastic job in covering this thing here. And when I mean this thing here, no, again, I didn't get a chance to sort out the audio, so I have to like use this mic in a sense for that. Yeah, so I'm just gonna jump into the Crazy Legs aspect of it, and that's how we're gonna end in this one, yeah. So let's jump into this. Dread. I'll try to answer comments afterwards, but let me just take a listen to this first. Yeah.
All I know, I don't like to make stupid people famous. But in this instance, a so-called man is trying to give advice to men. And now I have to come in now to let you all know that not all real men are not like this. Let's proceed.
It is very easy to cheat.
Now, this is very true.
It is a thought that has crossed my mind all the time.
Now, this is mad thing. Now, if it is that you have the urge or the thought always to cheat on your partner, then don't be in a relationship. If you have to constantly fight the urge to cheat, go and get help.
My clients, I have extremely beautiful clients. I have extremely beautiful friends that are prettier than my particular person, my significant other Priya, as a lot of you may know her. I have friends that are richer, bigger, assets.
Dread. Alright, hear this. I will continue the video, but I had to stop it there, right, a little bit. And this is what I mentioned earlier before, right? You will have creators come on TikTok in this case and pretend to be, give advice on relationships. And there's no excuse whatsoever. And okay, some context here. So apparently this is Brian Priya, right? Again, I don't want to make people like this famous in a sense, but he had a chat about it, because this could be a lesson to people out there who jump into the creator space. Dread, when you are creating lifestyle content, when you are creating content that giving relationship advice and all these things, there is certain things you should not do. And one of them, I think, especially if it's your brand, brand, is called brand and Priya, meaning that you and your significant other, I'm not sure if they are married, I'm not sure if it's boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever the case, but you do not go on social media and basically disrespect your significant other brethren. Now, hear this, right? The man make a next video. He deleted this video, but it was all over the place, right? And then he dropped a next video saying people blowing this out of proportion. He never said this and that. Basically, what he was doing was gaslighting people, and he was contradicting himself, because in this video, what Chris's leg posted, right? He said people taking this out of hand, he would never cheat on this and that. And then in this video that is being played, the same thing is he saying he never said, he said. Basically contradicting what he said previously. This is called gaslighting, peeps. Right? So basically, he probably have been gaslighting his girlfriend, and now he's trying to gaslight his viewers or everybody else. And there's the next thing, the next lessons. Be careful what you put out there, especially when you are chasing the clout, especially when you are chasing likes and stuff, and to get that validation from others out there, right? Or trying doing whatever it is, regardless of hurting your reputation, hurting another person's reputation, right? Have some class, have some respect. In this one, he's trying to talk about respect, but brother man, yeah, know what respect is, as you'll see in later in this video. Right, by the way, like, for those of you who don't know, gaslighting is basically manipulating another person psychologically. You know, it's basically psychological abuse. Basically, you manipulate somebody else to think that whatever their thoughts are is not true. Right? It's basically, you do not, how to put this, boy? It's basically, you try to downplay their thoughts, their, observations, right? And whatever they may tell you or question you, yeah, you basically try to downplay it rather than talk about it and communicate. Oh, Bushman, big up. Yeah, boy, I'm talking a little bacchanal here at the end of this live, boy. I don't know if this you came across this as well, but it's all across social media. So I'm just sharing this crazy, like, because he did a fantastic job in covering this, right? Another person who did a funny one is Junior Lee, right? But we'll not get into that one yet. So I'm just going back to the video. Yeah.
More inheritance, money, house, status, vehicles, you name it. Prettier teeth, clearer skin, longer hair, thing, whatever you wanna.
Dread. Right, again, we are doing a little critique in this. Here now, this man talking about, now, for more context, right? Because I just found out about this today. For more context, and my wife point out this. Look at this dude. This is a good looking dude, right? But it's like, Dread, his eyebrows looking done. This is my wife informing me of this. And also looking like he have on a filter. And he basically, this is the next rule, especially when you're doing lifestyle content, and especially when you're doing it with your girlfriend or wife or significant other, right? This man in this video here that he have deleted from his TikTok, whatever. But of course, this is the internet, so people would save it somewhere or the night. He wasn't fast enough because he started to get backlash now, and rightfully so. Dread, he is beginning to compare his significant other with some of his clients, right? In terms of his significant other assets, money, land, physical features, all these things, versus his other clients. And this next thing, that is utter disrespectful. If you have a significant other and on social media you come out and you do this comparison thing, Dread, best you, as Crazy like stated in this one, stay single. Have your own content and do your own thing. Now the clients you're referring to is whoever he's training. He is a gym trainer, alright? And like I mentioned earlier, and this is, of course, my wife pointed this out, this man have impeccable eyebrows. So it look like he's doohy eyebrows, and it looking like he have on a filter in this video, alright? Like I mentioned earlier, he's a good looking dude, and for him to be probably using these filters and all these things and whatnot, and then want to critique other people, I mean, about their assets, and I want to say this is a man thing, and he may not be in love with this. Anyway, bacchanal. Let me go back to the video, and we continue this, because Crazy, like, I just have to play this.
However you want to describe it.
Let me break this down. One, fellas, you can appreciate someone's beauty without being sexual about it. Imagine that. Just appreciate their beauty for how they are and how they look.
I agree.
Your relationship is public and you are in it for marriage, for longevity. You do not put down your woman with comparisons. But a list of things that she does not have or she's not. No way.
This.
No how is that okay, fellas? At any point in time in your life, even if she says it's fine to post the video, you as a man supposed to put your leadership role immediately and know it is not fine at any point in time to ever put your woman down into comparison.
Fellas, I'm gonna tell you something about love. Love is not something constant to me. It is an emotion that is subjected to fluctuate all the time.
Jesus, when you love someone, you love them for the good, the bad, the ugly. That is true love. If you have stress, you're emotional or whatsoever, that does not warrant you to punish the person to be out of love.
Now, these are the next point to note, right? This man needs to define the definition of love, because love is not, as Chrissy like said, just the good times. Is the good, the bad, the thing, right? And it brings me to a quote I came across some years ago. They say, in a relationship, is all you need is love and an IQ low enough to believe that. All right, and it's true, because in any relationship, right, at the end of the day, it's two individuals, two people with two different sets of experiences coming together as one, right? Obviously, they're going to be crashes and whatnot, right? But this is where communication happens. This is where compromise happens, right? This is where you begin to appreciate somebody else for their flaws, for their good parts, for their bad, and acknowledge their bad parts. And most times, both parties would work on finding that middle ground for each other. But it's also knowing and recognizing that everybody have flaws, and in spite of that, working with it and forming a life with it, growing together, elevating both of you all. So this dude trying to be a little Derek Jackson. Now, for those of you who don't know, Derek Jackson was one of the biggest, relationship advice, marriage advice person on platform on YouTube and thing. And this was some years ago. And then he got caught cheating. So at the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, be careful who all you're taking advice from. Even from me, right? Especially my food reviews and all these things. My taste bud might be different from yours, right? So, right? And I try and be transparent with you all. My main aim is to, when we visit spots, to highlight what you can expect, the good, the bad, everything, right? Some days it will be good, some other days it might be iffy, but we don't hold back, right? And some days I might get things right, some days I might be off a little bit in terms of the information, because most time I'll try to get my information beforehand, but of course it's the internet, and sometimes how the internet is flow, you don't get everything. And I'm not a journalist to say I've recognized the sources, or I could go in the library all the time to look up these things. And now, Sylvan, you are making a point here, right? At the end of the day, is all about likes and comments. Basically, it's all about interactions on these posts. So, be it good, be it bad, once there's interactions, is they'll get basically traction in a sense. So, yeah. Ooh, I'm not watching my battery power. Hold on, you all. Let me. Right. So anyway, it's all about getting a response, and most times being a troll, people could do these things. Now, this man looked like he was serious about this, and he was doing this. I don't know if he had a fallout with his significant other, and he decided to go on do a social media video on this. But yeah, but we're going to continue videoing a little bit. And yes, Bushman, tomorrow going to be, well, I don't think it'll be real bacchanal. It'll be real bacchanal to see who win at the end of the day. And I might live stream the results, but we'll see how that goes. I'll put it to a poll, so whatever the people want, they go get democracy. Come what may come tomorrow, at the end of the day though, right? Who we are going to be in the next 5 years will be determined tomorrow. Whether we keep the current regime or we vote for somebody new. So we will see how that goes. But back to the video.
A A lot of the times where I get the urge to cheat on Priya.
Oh my God. I don't know about all you, but if you wake up with the urge to cheat, are you thinking about it? Can I cheat it?
I tell Priya, as it is, flat out, I will not feel to wake up and love you every single day, but I will respect you.
Brother, people, men, we supposed to be the ones to take the lead, show romance every single day. Men want respect, women want security and love. You know, I can't do this anymore. You probably have been seeing with people just because they have a likes, a little followers, a little something, and you want a little trend. Do not come on social media and downgrade or disrespect you. Clean and simple, keep your thoughts to yourself, that is all, and live happy.
How much people missed the point of that video and decided to have some really weird takeaways from that, like I just give up and have the urge to cheat on my girl every day.
To cheat. It is a thought that's crossed my mind all the time. A lot of the times where I get the urge to cheat on Priya.
Like I just give up and have the urge to cheat on my girl every day.
Oh my God! Yeah, I just had to play that one. That one, short out. You know, I'll leave a link to the original video in the at the end of this live to Crazy Legs Entertainment, because Dread. I know we are happy-go-lucky people, but sometimes, you know. Anywho, that's the kind of bacchanal that happens here just before elections. As Bushman stated, tomorrow is a good scene. Adrian is asking, oh, big up Adrian, who are voting for? Well, at the end of the day, that's between me and the poll booth come tomorrow. But I will be voting, and I do recommend everybody go out and vote, regardless if you agree with the options or not, right? Execute your democratic right. Like I said, this is, I know some people would be fed up of the current status quo. You have other people who will go along with the current status quo just because, you know, sometimes that's just how it is, right? Or they like, or they getting through it, whatever it have. And then others would jump on the next board and vote for somebody new. We have like a million different parties, new parties now. But at the end of the day, we all know it's down to red and yellow. Jump high, jump low. That's how Trinbagonians would vote. That's where the majority of the votes would go. So, yeah. So, but make sure and go out and execute your democratic right. I know, Bushra, we're not voting on this live. But, I will post... Actually, I'm going to post a thing right now, right after this live. I'm going on, go on my community tab. I'm going to post whether you want me to live stream on cover, you know, elections. Obviously, you'll have like the regular news channels and everything covering it. And most likely I might locked on to one of them or a few of them. And if you want to see me cover election results tomorrow from 9 until whenever, I'll put that down to a vote for the people, you know. Because that is how it always be. But again, we are a democracy. So whether your party wins or lose tomorrow, at the end of the day, we still need to work on making Trinidad and Tobago a much better place than it currently is. Alright? And at the end of the day, tomorrow is the one day where we could demand change. We could let our voices be heard. Or, you know, if you want to stick to the current status quo, we could do that too. That's all in your hands, people, or whoever is watching this. Again, we don't bring politics, race, culture, religion here in TrinbagoVibes. We just try and speak as much facts as we can, even if sometimes those facts may be skewed, in which case I could be corrected, you know, because I'm only human. And yeah, and we just went through some bacchanal earlier that, you know, Dread, again, for those of you who are in this content space, please keep your dirty laundry off social media. Alright? I mean, everybody like a bacchanal. I won't lie. This is Trinidad and Tobago. That's one of like our pastimes. You know, we are like the village Mako in a sense. But still, nah, man. Do not be disrespectful to your significant other on social media. The likes and everything is not worth that. Alright? Please think about what you are posting on these platforms. People will be watching, people would be influenced by it, people will take notes from it. So, yeah. And I think that's about it. I know I started the live late. Normally I try and start the live around 8 o'clock, and I started a little late, so we're finishing a little late. And yeah, big up Adrian, thank you for joining, and thank you everybody for joining this Sunday Vibes Live episode 74. Next week's video is going to be a food vlog. It will be probably like a combination of doubles hopping, sada roti and tal curry kind of vibes, and probably some roti or dal and rice and some kind of thing. Yeah, gonna be a food vlog. Then after that, I'm hoping to have buffet hopping, and then we might have some doubles hopping and whatnot, and we'll see how it goes. So you all, a big up Ellie Food and More, you know. You know, I just had to tune in on certain things. Like, I try not to stay away from any politics. I try to stay away from any bacchanal. But again, I have to embrace certain things, especially when it's getting bigger than it is, or where it could teach a lesson. So, peeps, hope you have a great one. Have a safe night. Have a blessed night. For those of you out to work tomorrow, you know, be safe on the roads. School is starting back this week here in Trinidad and Tobago. Tomorrow is a big day, is elections day. For those of you who could legally vote, please go and vote, regardless if you agree or don't agree with any of the policies, any of the parties and things. Just go and execute your democratic right, because we as a people need to let those in power know our voices, let our voices be heard, and we need people to be in these positions to, you know, make Trinidad and Tobago a more safer place, access to more forex, so that businesses and entrepreneurs could flourish instead of a certain percentage of Trinbagonians. So yeah. Boy, them we are right yet, Bushman, and you see all the dancing on the stage, making fools left foot, right foot kind of thing. But in any event, on the next end, right, we have Tans making some mistakes on the stage. We have people crossing board lines. All we could do is go, do our part, vote for who we think could lead us into a better 5 years. Whether, as I stated earlier, the current government or a new one. And yep. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna post up the poll like 2 minutes after this live end. It's going up on my community tab. Let me know if you all want me to cover election results tomorrow. If the majority say yes, it will start around 9-ish and we'll go until. Alright, TrinbagoVibes. You all have a blessed one, have a safe one, have an enjoyable one when school start back. For those of you start back to school, I know this is the exam period or the exam season in a sense, because we have people writing well, SEA went already, so but we still have people writing Cape, we have people writing CXC in the May-June aspect. So yeah, and then of course those of you who doing well, you know, starting back school, so you won't have to worry about end of term, but they'll have the secondary school students prepping for, you know, form 5 and form 6 prepping for Cape, prepping for CXC. So yeah, you all have a safe one, have a blessed one, be safe out there, and go vote. TrinbagoVibes. Alright, we are off. We off. I'll go on later. Oh, by the way, shout out you all for taking the time on this Sunday to join the live, even for a little bit. And yeah, let's thank you all for those of you sticking through, for those of you popping in, and yeah, and thanks again for the support.